Right, so welcome back everyone. It's so good to see you. As I was just describing before I hit record, is we're gonna focus today on upper body stuff because I feel like I do a lot of lower body emphasis because that's my preference and it's just maybe more my strength. So let's get started. We're gonna start with a couple sun salutations in a row and that might get tiring quickly, so feel free to take a break as needed, have a beverage available. We're probably going to do 3 to 4 sun salutations so you know what you're, is this ever going to end kind of thing, and you can kind of keep yourself, motivated. So yeah, without further ado, let us come to our mats or our yoga space. Timer here. All right, and we're just going to take a couple of breaths in a comfortable position, lifting up from that sternum area to let your shoulders fall back. Maybe your eyes can come to close or just lower your gaze. Just bring your awareness to your midline. And by that I mean, can you, in your mind's eye, center your forehead over your heart, over your pelvis. Just have this nice long line running through your body. Begin to deepen your breath. Just take a deep inhale. Collect yourself here, uplifting breath. And exhale to melt, relax, just ease into the practice. Need to deepen your breath. Uplifting, inhale. Then downward, relaxing, exhale. Maybe you can imagine your breath as coming from the ground beneath you. Beneath your sits bones or your feet, however you're sitting, it rises up past your spine. And same thing on the exhale, you release it down your spine back into the earth. Moving up and down that midline. Relax your shoulders. Think of yourself as hanging off of your spine. That is your structure, and the rest of you is just relaxed, hanging around, suspended by that middle of you. Someone told me that once, think of yourself as sort of this skeleton, as this spine. You are your spine as your center. And I just sort of imagined the spine floating around the desert. It was like off-putting, but kind of meditative in a way because it was peaceful. So feel free to imagine yourself as just like a floating spine. And the idea with finding this midline is that whatever comes at you, you are so open, you're both so centered, and yet there's so much space around you that everything coming at you just passes right through. You're so open and porous and have just such a concentrated center of self that everything just breezes right next to you and right by you. Just take a few moments to breathe on your own. However, midline and center, whatever imagery comes to mind, welcome that. And you can begin to blink your eyes open. We're just going to do a couple of little lip trills. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, you can either breathe through your lips, or you can stick your tongue out. Some people prefer one to the other. Just relaxing and feeling sensation in your mouth. So keep inhale through your nose, and lip trill all the way out. 2 more on your own. Rocking your head back and forth. And then continue to bring small motions into your neck, generating relaxation into your neck and shoulders. And when you are good and loose, we're going to roll over onto our hands and knees into a tabletop position and begin to move through your cat and cow position. So these are kind of on your own. So find what motions work for you. Maybe you want to begin at the low spine as you inhale, and then let your middle spine and then shoulder blades roll, and then ending with your nose up at the sky, and reversing that on the exhale. Neck goes first, up middle back, lower back. Exhale. Maybe you want to do it in one motion and just kind of drop the middle belly. Just play around with different ways you can access these curves. Okay, inhale, that's when the belly drops, and exhale, so we push it all the way. You want to invite any other movements. Focus being on the arms, because we are going to do some upper body focus. It's going to be all body, as always, but just bring some attention to the upper body and arms. A little pep talk. We're going to work today. You want to rotate your wrists a little bit. Play with that. It's your own main warm-up. In yoga, sometimes it's really hard to connect with the breath, or even know, like, when am I even supposed to breathe? How am I supposed to do all this? And how you're talking, my breath is different. And a nice guide for that is just before you go into a new extended motion, take an inhale or an exhale. And if it's okay if it doesn't match up, I will cue, of course, a lot of the inhales and exhales. The idea is that you just don't let your breath stop. In fact, the breathing breathes us. So the inhale moves us, and the exhale moves us, rather than we move and then we breathe later. So as long as you are bringing mindful breaths into your body, and when you forget and you're like, oh, I've been holding my breath, and reconnect, that's helpful. All right, so when you are nice and limber in the spine, we're going to walk our hands forward about a handprint. There you go. And we're going to tuck our toes and lifting from the hips, we make our way into our first downward dog of the day. And right away begin to pedal out your feet. Moving not only, another family member disappears. Moving not only through your legs, but through your feet. You can really feel, you can give your toes a really nice stretch right up the creases. And move that same foot all the way down, energy out through the heel, and feel it up the back of your calf, maybe even upward in your leg. Excellent. Good. And let's find a center place to rest. We're going to bend our knees nice and deeply. Take a moment, gaze through the knees. Feel your fingers gripping into the earth, all 10 knuckles, especially the knuckles pressing into the ground. Deep breath here. Then your exhale, we're going to lift those hips as high as you can in the air, and then try to lower those heels back to the earth. You might notice that this increases the stretch in your calves, and maybe your heels don't go as low as they did, and that's okay. You're just pressing our hearts through our shoulders and adding extension to our hips. We're almost there. Take one more deep breath in. Release it however you like. Gaze forward. And begin to walk those feet towards your hands, feet stopping ankle width distance apart. We're going to inhale, halfway lift, right away. Extension of the spine. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Exhale to melt down. Bend your knees, of course. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale. Now we're going to inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Those of you who do contemporary dance or ever did, I realize this is something from the Horton style. They do a lot of these roll-ups, like 30 in a row. Oh my God, I should teach that. We're going to stay for a moment in our tall Tadasana. Try to find the four corners of your feet so your foundation is solid. Feel that energy rise up, open your heart, take a breath, and take stock of yourselves here. And then just relax. Very nice. Bend your knees, reach your arms up into the air. Palms meet. Maybe you want to do a slight back bend. It's just the shoulder blades. The lower back doesn't bend very much. Exhale to slice the air in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale to plant your hands. Step back, right leg, left leg. Settle either into a high plank or knees down to low plank. Feeling that belly to spine connection. like you're compressing the space between your belly and low spine. Inhale to shift forward, heels still kind of pressing back. Exhale to lower down. First chaturanga of the day, very nice. Untuck those toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Elbows pulling in, only lifting a little bit off the ground. Exhale, forehead comes down. We're going to move right into a child's pose. So keeping those knees under your hips, send it back. Arms stretched in front of you. Feel that pull of your hands reaching out, but hips sinking back. Elongating yourself in the upper body. Beautiful. Ready? We're going to come back to tabletop. And we're going to flow. So the flow is simply linking the breath a little bit more mindfully. Don't get too in your head about it. Just breathe as you move. It's really the premise of it. So inhale to tuck your toes, step your hands back in front a little bit. Send those hips up, downward dog. Inhale deeply. Release. Inhale one more time. Release. Gaze forward, hop or step those feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Long neck. Exhale, forward. Inhale, bend your knees. Reach those arms out and up. Energize through the fingertips. Maybe you want to do a little back bend at the top. Keep that inhale. And then the exhale sends that heart down. Deep inhale, halfway lift. Energize tailbone through crown of head. Exhale, melt down. Inhale to plant those hands. Step those feet back. High plank or low plank. Heels pressing back. Take a breath here. Inhale to shift forward. Lower down. Untuck those toes. Moving into baby cobra. Maybe a slightly higher cobra. Palms flat. And on your exhale, lower down. Well done. Inhale, you can either move through plank or through tabletop and get into your downward dog from there. Take 2 deep breaths. Deep breath into your belly. Side out. Deep breath in through your belly. And then blow your toes. Very nice. Inhale, eyes forward, bend your knees, either walk or step those feet up. If you're jumping, step or jump, you are jumping, think of like a frog. Get those knees nice and high. That actually helps you get a little further. Do the set. So inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, bend your knees, energize out through your fingertips, rise up, palms to come together, maybe small back bend at the end of that inhale. Exhale, send that heart and hips forward. So another halfway lift here. Halfway lift. Exhale, release. Step your feet back, palms flat. Inhale, high plank or low plank. We're almost there. Exhale to shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Untuck those toes. Maybe you move into upward dog by lifting those knees and pressing the floor away. Ears move away from shoulders. Take a little rest wherever you are. And then exhale to send yourself back into downward dog for our final just sun salutation flow. Inhale deeply here. Side out. One more breath here. Blow through your toes. Inhale, gaze forward. You're jumping, bend your knees, and think of almost moving through that cat pose, or you're arching your back, making space for your knees. Walk. Inhale, halfway lift. I'm going to hit the table with my foot. Exhale, release. Bend your knees, reach your arms up, up, up. Palms come together. Inhale, deep, deep. And then exhale, just let your palms come together past your heart. Take a moment, close your eyes, feet can be together, or hips width distance apart. Rolling those shoulders back. And tap back into that alignment. Head over heart, over pelvis. Creating space around us, but also very Also, we're very close to our center. Oh. From standing, we're all going to turn to the side of the long side of our mat. And we're just going to take a nice wide straddle. And a little thumb, if you're looking at yourself on the screen, is ankles more or less under your wrists. That tends to be a little further than we naturally want to go. Keep your pants in this pull up, they're slithering down. Excellent. From here, we are going to place our hands on our hips. Inhale to tuck that tailbone slightly under. Oops, your belly button might want to go a little higher in the air. Lifting your heart. Exhale, send the heart forward, halfway lift with no hand support. You can always put your hands on blocks or anything if you have them. Gripping through the pinky edges of your feet, sending energy out the top of your head, gazing at the floor. Breath here to get long. And then exhale to send your heart down as much as feels comfortable. You can hold onto shins, blocks, the floor, whatever is available to you. And here we're just going to bring a gentle bend into one knee. Come back to center. And on the next exhale, bend the other. So bring breath into these movements. You can bend further or less far. This is just to release our muscles. Exhale to sink into one side, opening the opposite hip. Inhale to coming back tall. Exhale. As much as you can, letting your neck relax. You're holding onto your shins. You're actually using your core to really balance, so well done. Wherever you are, maybe we begin to bend a little deeper. Your toes want to go slightly out, that's okay. Let them do that. Good. One more on each side. Make it with that breath. One breath, one body. When you're ready, coming back to center. Having those toes point to the front as much as you can. A slight bend in your knees, and you can roll up. Let those shoulders be heavy as you roll up. Very nice. As you come to the top, we're going to actually reach our arms up. And let them settle out. Splendid. Take a minute here. Get those shoulders back in their little pockets. Fingers energized. We're going to turn our right leg to the front of the room. The left leg stays out, right leg to the front. Inhale, send that left hip to the left side. Oops, so now your leg and upper body sort of on a diagonal. Turning those palms to the front. On an exhale, begin to tilt your upper body towards the floor. Right hand can hold onto your shin, you can hold onto a block, and it can go either in front of or behind your leg. I generally like it in front so I can use that as a little platform to open my heart. Move my right hand there, pivot from my lower belly to open my heart to the sky, gazing up, take a deep breath. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, slight micro bend in that knee. Grip to the floor. Begin to unwind those arms. And when you think that we're resting, we're actually now going to lunge into that front leg. You might have to swiggle your toes out so that your knee is right over your ankle. Take a moment, keeping those arms outstretched if you can. Inhale to find that midline. Take that body tall. And then exhale to plant your forearm, your right forearm on your thigh, bringing your left arm up past your ear. Alternative way of entering this is to bring your left arm past your nose. Sometimes that's more accessible for all different reasons. Energize out and up through those fingers. Feel that energy ride down your side body, past your left hip, and into that left pinky side. Option to send that right hand down to a block, a pillow with your ankle, and you can either reach up with that left arm or continue to reach over your ear. Splendid. Bring your arm back to your forearm back to your leg. And then come on back, unwind those arms, come back into a strong warrior two, gazing over that middle finger. Inhale here. And then exhale, send it back. Left arm can support lower back, just rest. It can be a little bind situation. And then come on back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, just straighten it up. Sending that right foot forward. And left foot is going to turn to the left side now. Take a moment to relax your arms. So I have to teach a contemporary dance class, and I haven't had much contemporary dance experience. So a lot of the things I'm saying now are born out of some of the research I was doing. But Martha Graham is one of the great modern contemporary schools of dance, and she revolutionized a lot of different things. One of many people, and she says your arms start in your back. Your arms come from your back because they were once wings, like we are like these great majestic birds or dragons or something with wings. And I love that. We're always trying to roll them back into their little pockets, into their beautiful spot, and from there, it's our backs, our really strong backs that support the arms. But I notice when I disconnect, I feel a little on my neck, in those areas where I hold tension. So using your body to support our wings, it's a nice way to think about it. So now that we're here, let's open our wings to the side. Inhale. Exhale to send your hips to the right side. Continuing with that breath as one fluid motion, sending your left fingers towards the left ground. Bring a slight micro bend into that knee. Really ground into this position. If you want to have a block, that's an option. Inhale to maybe open your heart more to the ceiling. Sending those hips back. A couple of breaths, your own breaths here. Excellent. You're ready. Bend, slight micro bend in that left leg. Press yourself up using the muscles you have in your side body. And then we're going to rotate the wrists so they are wings. Wrists down to the ground, palms down to the ground, and lean into that front left leg, warrior two position. Generally, your alignment should be that your front leg bisects your back foot. So if your feet were to come together, they make the letter T. But find your kind of version that works. Inhale to align that midline again. So leaning forward. And then exhale to send that left forearm to left thigh. Option with the right arm to just reach up and out, or bring it around town and reach up and out. That's right. Feeling that lovely line you just created from your right middle finger down toward. My mom just gave my sibling a little kiss. Oh, they're practicing it. So energize from the middle finger of the right hand down past the shoulder, down past your knee, into your pinky toe. Extend that left hand down further. Create a straighter line with that top arm. All the variations. Your arm was extended, place it back on your leg, and use those same muscles as before to right yourself back up into warrior two. Gaze over your left fingers. Take maybe a moment with your eyes closed. You don't have to be in your deepest warrior. Be in a place where you can sustain it a little bit. Close your eyes, roll those shoulders back into their wing sockets. Just imagine your body in this pose and just how strong and grounded you are. Energize out through the fingers, rooted deeply into the ground, gaze focused in front. Very nice. Inhale, eyes open. If you like, exhale, reverse that warrior, just sending that right hand down to relax. Support that lower back, side stretch. In, come on back. And exhale. Ooh, yeah. Straighten that leg. Splendid. Turning both feet back out to the sides. We're going to get a nice little upper body twist action going on before we get back to the floor. We're going to inhale, turn the right foot back to the front like we did before warriors. Our left foot, the toes are going to also point more to the front. So think of front diagonal, front left diagonal. Front foot is directly in front of your nose. If you were to look front, left foot's on that diagonal. heel further back. That's right. Good. Inhale those wings out. And then exhale, similar to what we just did with just our hip is staying in place this time and our back foot is in a slightly different position. Gazing up or using your shin as support. Ooh, it's a little balance. Excellent. Now we're going to exhale. You might want to watch first. If you want me to demonstrate. Exhale. Bring your arms kind of into like a ballet position in front of your feet, in front of your right foot, hips square. We're going to continue moving and just reverse the arms. So now my left arm is down, right arm is up. And we're going to move through that with our breath, nice and slowly. So if you want to shake it out, restart. That's what I'm doing. Right foot front, left foot diagonal front. On like a 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Strong arms. Do inhale to get long, and then exhale to transition. Inhale to get long, and exhale, transition. Moving your own breath, maybe 2 more each side. And it's okay if your arms are perfectly straight. It's definitely, it asks us to essentially spiral our torso around our hips. Another mark of grounding, keeping our hips more or less stable while our upper body rotates and spirals around it. Excellent. When you come back to the original, give your front leg a nice bend. Come on back. And let's point both legs to the front. Let's just do a little shake. I definitely feel in the back leg, that support, that anchor. And before we do the other side, let's do a little balance. Which one first? So many we can choose from. Well, I definitely want to do eagle arms. All right. Let's do eagle, because I really love that twist with the arms. All right, so for eagle, you can kind of set up however you want. Your lower body, you can just have your foot heel up. You can cross one knee over. You can cross your knee and your ankle and really sink into that standing leg. Arms, we'll start with that. You're gonna reach them out, inhale. Exhale, you're gonna swing them right arm underneath. Inhale, cross them again. Next breath, palms come together. And then you're just gonna work on lifting those elbows away. Feet, again, you can just lift the heel. You can cross one foot over, one leg over, and cross it again. I have my right leg crossing, left leg grounded. And then you're just gonna sit back into a chair. Isn't this how we always sit? Isn't this just like the most comfortable way of sitting down after a long day's work? Again, inhale. Pressing those elbows away from your shoulders. Exhale to settle. One more deep breath. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale to prepare yourself to depart from this pose. Exhale, unwind, unwind. Flap your wings, other birds, and shake it out. Splendid. This is a nice moment to have a sip of your beverage. Have a sip of your beverage. It's just yoga. It doesn't mean we have to go for 10 hours with no water. Or coffee, or whatever. All right, excellent. So we're gonna get set up for the left side. Legs nice and wide, as wide-ish as your hips. We're gonna turn the front toes on our left side to the left toes to the front. And we're gonna turn the right toes on that diagonal. So if you were looking at a clock face, your right toes are at like 1 or 2 o'clock. Whereas your left toes are at midnight. All right, so we're gonna inhale, squaring those hips. Exhale, opening those arms. And sending that left hand to your ankle. Just as we did before, inhales to get stretched and long and lovely space. Exhale to transition, moving that upper body to the other side of the room. It's definitely a lot of balance there, so take your time. Maybe do 3 rounds. Remember to stay connected to your core. That is really what is enabling you to rotate and to stretch. themselves maybe breakfast or lunch. You never know in this house if it's breakfast or lunch because people sleep till like 2. And when you are ready, good to go. Cool. Oh yeah. You're gonna end with that open face, bend that front knee, bring it up. Very nice. And turn both toes back to the front, shake it out. Your eagle on the other side. So just take a moment to prepare, hips width distance apart. Feeling your foundation, gripping in all 4 corners of the feet. The feet don't have like straight corners, but really imagine 4 points. Create your balance. Arms. Inhale those wings out. Exhale, left hand comes underneath. Inhale, switch, cross them again, Exhale, palms come together. It could be fingertips towards your wrist. They don't have to be perfectly smushed together. And then on those inhales, you're just pulling those elbows carefully away from your chest. The left leg can just be bent. You can cross it over, or you can cross it over twice. Bending into that right knee, sending those hips back. Find a moment of relative stillness and calm. Inhale to pull those elbows away from your heart. Exhale to settle. Inhale to stretch. And exhale to settle. Final inhale as we prepare to unwind. Exhale, unwind, unwind, and shake it out. Very good. Beautiful. So we're going to come back to the tops of our mat. I'm going to come to my mat on this side because I feel like I'm not going to hit my head. I'm facing this side. So this is the new top of my mat. Okay, inhale, reach those arms up, maybe back bend. And exhale, send the heart forward. Inhale, flow, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Stepping those feet back. Inhale, shift forward. Then exhale to lower down as slowly as you can. Untuck those toes. Inhale, however, yogi's choice, whatever you'd like here. And then exhale, sending it back into your downward facing dog. And spend a little time here. So if you want to do a couple more walkouts, it's been a while since we were in our downward. Relax that neck. Come to think of downward dog eventually as a home base. Definitely takes me a couple of downward dogs to really sink into it. And the first one, I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. And then eventually, your body knows to expect it as, you just did a lot of work. This is a recovery. Still an active one. Now we're going to move into our dolphin. So whenever you're ready, inhale, planting one forearm and then the other on the ground. If this is new to you, just play around. It's okay for you to lower your knees, bend your knees. Find a place where you feel stable. I always clasp my hands. I wonder what that says about my personality. I'm always like, please. But you can keep your hands open, thumbs up, palms can be on the ground. And then press yourself up into downward dog, palms on the ground. Inhale. Exhale, forearm down, dolphin, exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, palm, downward dog. Final round, so close. Inhale here. Exhale, come down into dolphin. Inhale here. Exhale, walk it back up. And then walk those hands to your feet. And just hang. Let those shoulders be heavy. If you'd like to, you can grab onto your elbows and just cradle your head. Bend in your knees. Slow rocking side to side. Getting back into your body. Letting gravity stretch out those upper arms which you just worked. A couple more breaths here. Restorative stretch. That neck. Wiggle away. So, gee, this would be a nice time for the dog to walk in and inspire us all to continue. But she's not going to. And when you're ready, release your fingers. And we're going to do a nice roll up of the spine like usual, but take more time than you usually do. Realize what your body wants to do and slow it down from there. So just roll up so slowly. Bend knees. Really feel up the hamstrings. Lower back. Oh gosh. And shoulders come up. And the last thing is your lovely faces, your visages. Show them to the sun. Table, Queen Mountain pose. And let's just bring your hands into prayer. A moment. Big stop. I always love this. Pressing your hands into each other, shoulder blades resting in their little wing sockets, eyes can come to close. Excellent. And then when you are ready, just release your hands. We're going to do a kind of little silly release. So you're going to start keeping your knees nice and bent, toes a little out. You're just going to start rocking your shoulders. Remember those spirals we were talking about, kind of like your upper body moves around your hips? This time you're going to incorporate the hips. Let everything kind of like you're at a party and everyone's dancing, but you're kind of like a little awkward. So you're just kind of like, yeah, like maybe it's just me. It's not my go-to. So just let it kind of take on some wind. Just some wind under your wings. And then begin to bend a little more. And notice how that bend makes your wings spiral a little higher, maybe with a little more force. And then make the gentlest of fists. And let your hands little massage every time it hits your like glutes or whatever, your lower back. And you can even direct your hands to a part of your body. So I'm kind of going for my lower back now. And then immediately release. Head follows the swing. And then bring in some breath. And here we play with speed. So maybe you want to go a little faster. Upper body is completely relaxed. Maybe you want to take it slower and smaller. Beautiful. And when you're ready, start slowing it down, making the movements a little smaller. Back to awkward pre-prom or whatever event I was at. I was not dancing, but dancing. And come find some stillness. Here, let's reconnect with our lion's breath. My favorite. We're not going to do it with the legs. We're going to rest the legs for a second. So lion's breath. You take deep inhale. On your exhale, your eyes roll back. It's very scary. Tongue comes out, and you are just like breathing. So let's incorporate the arms. So often, lion's breath is incorporated in different physical poses. But for this, just reach your strong fingers up. So inhale. Exhale, lion's breath. More like that. Really extend those exhales. Feel that heat in your throat. Final one. Woo, yeah. Really good for my vocal warm-ups. And shake it out. I like it. I feel like it's a breath of fire. It's an intimidating breath. It's like kind of a breath that's it's like a kind of a threatening breath, but it comes from a place of warmth and activity within. It's nice to be able to generate that from within ourselves. It's very powerful. Like don't cross my boundaries, breath. Again, I'm projecting. Inhale, hips up, feet under hips. Reach those arms up, palms come together. Final little back bend of the day. Exhale, open those wings out, swan dive forward. Let that neck relax at the bottom. Inhale, halfway lift, final one. Can you get anything else out of it today? Exhale, walk those fingers down. Inhale, plant those hands, step back into your plank. Now here, let's just hold our plank for a moment. Knees can always drop, just still feel that pull up with the belly button, like the belly button's resisting gravity. When we shift forward and lower down, I'm going to count backwards from 5 and try your best to fill as many seconds of those as possible. Marcelo sometimes does this to me to torment me, and then I'm like, well, actually, I, out of spite, tried to do it, and it was better than I thought. So, out of spite, let's do yoga. So, inhale to shift forward. Deep inhale to really oxidize everything. And then exhale for 5, lowering down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, very nice. Untuck those toes. Release those arms. There's dog fur all over the carpet, but I am going to just lean into it. Place your favorite ear on the ground. Let the shoulders melt down. Feel the gravity and the heaviness in those shoulders. And rest your eyes. And reverse whatever ear is on the ground. For some more breathing. And then letting your forehead come to the center, using your palms of your shoulders, press back up into the tabletop. And we're going to cross up the ankles. Bend our hips through, come to a seated position. Track my foot in a very nice way. So you're ready for that. Excellent. All right, from here, I don't know why I turn this way. We're actually going to go into a little crow breath, but we're not going to go into the full crow. So I don't want you to worry. It is an inversion, but we're just here to get the activation in the upper body. So if you'd like to have a pillow, just in case, because crow, you are upside down. Maybe you want to go into the full crow, but you're like, no, I don't want to have my head below my bottom. That's fine. But we're not going to I'm not going to guide you through lifting your feet today. So we're sitting cross-legged. We're going to use our energy to roll forward, back onto your hands and knees, and tuck your toes. So you're in this kind of prep position, like you could spring forward, I think of when people put cucumbers in front of cats when they're not expecting a cat that springs forward. Except you can trust me, I'm not gonna put a cucumber and scare you. You're gonna plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Yeah, and again, if you're in your tabletop, your knees are under your hips, toes tucked. Good, you're just gonna bend your elbows a little bit so that your elbows are actually going out to the side. So you're not bending backwards, actually bending out a little. Good. And just do a couple, almost like little push-ups here. Just get used to that feeling. Ripping through the floor with the full palm. Gaze, neck is long. Your head is dropped. There's still some energy in your neck. And your gaze is just in front of your fingertips, maybe towards the front of your neck. And just with your gentle presses, fixate on a spot on the floor, your drizzy, or your focus. So just get used to balancing your head dipping below your heart a little. Excellent. When you're ready, you're going to walk I'm picking my left leg up so my knee is in touch with my upper arm. And I'm going to continue to do these little presses. And eventually, as you bend your elbow, you're going to want to push that leg away, but resist the push with your leg. So it's almost like this resistance you're creating. Your arm is pushing your knee away. Your knee is pushing into your arm. Oh yeah, and now you're doing some work. Yes. If you would like, you can pick up the other leg and place it in the same position, just above your elbow, and do these little frog push-ups. And eventually, with practice, your elbows actually become a little platform for your knees. And when you shift your heart forward, you can lift your feet in the air. For now, let's just keep working. You might be feeling some heat in that upper body. If not, maybe put a little more weight into your palms, knowing that if you fall in the pillow, you do not need to lift it up. Let's take 2 more breaths, reconnecting with those inhales and exhales. When you're ready, sending one foot back, and then the other into your tabletop, rotating those wrists, and making little circles with your hips, stretching it out. Just kind of toning and building the muscles that lead to other things you can do in yoga. Good. And you can sit back however you like. Give your arms a little shake. One I like a lot is reaching the right arm over, taking your left hand right above the elbow. Or you can bring it below the elbow, just not on the elbow. And pulling it back. And switching. Right. Good work. So if you have a pillow, you can keep it nearby. We're almost at that part of class where we just release everything we generate, all that energy, all that heat. But not yet. We're going to do a little, well, you know, I'm not even going to tell you. It'll be a surprise. It's a little balance work that we're about to do. So come on back to your tushes, knees up in the air, planting your hands outside and behind you just to let you inhale and lift that heart for a moment. You release one arm and then the other. And then bending at that belly button, you can roll that spine slowly, slowly, onto the floor. Well done. Keeping those arms there to receive your knees, what you're going to do. A nice little hug. If this is not accessible for you, you can reach underneath the backs of your legs, or just reach wherever feels good for you. If you're able to reach your knees and hug, you can rock side to side. If you would like to stay here, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to start activating the core a little bit. You flex your feet, and we're going to rock forward and backwards. When I taught gymnastics for all of 2 weeks, the kids were required to do this for actually a toning exercise, and I was like, I can't do this because I wasn't aware of how your core keeps you compact. So if this is something you're struggling with, just practice. You can extend your legs a little bit if you want to see if that changes how you rock, or you can keep it nice and compact. And just take a couple rocks. And on the third one, I will count it down, so just keep practicing. On the third one, we're going to pause at the top on our toes, on the balls of our feet in a balance. So I will demonstrate. So I'll do 3, 2, and then on this last one, I'm going to try to get a little more force. 1, and try to balance on your toes. You can bring your hands down, and then if you want to bring your hands up, we'll balance at the top. So I invite you for the next couple of minutes to just try to get 2 or 3 balances in and see how long you can hold them. I'm just going to practice on my end, and you practice on yours. So you're just going to rock, and then when you feel like you have enough momentum, get onto those the balls of those toes and balance. Good luck. It's kind of fun. For balancing, maybe find some stillness. Close your eyes. And then just to get back into it, just round through that back rock. Okay. Have some fun. Yoga play time. When you are finished, just lie on your back, knees tucked in. Right, knees tucked into your chest, and I'll meet you there. Whew. Tucking those knees from side to side. We're going to extend one leg and then the other. I'm just going to give them a nice little shake. They've been tucked in for a while. Bring back some pockets of space and stretch. And start connecting with your breath again, but deeper, more grounded breaths as your full body is on the earth. You take more expansive breaths, breaths that make you feel more grounded. Final time, let's hug in those knees. Give yourself a little squeeze. I love you, says you to you. Oh. And option here, you can either just let your knees fall to the side. Oh, that was enough of an option. Or you can cross your right leg over, your left leg over your right, and then drop your knees. Oh, I'm sorry. You can either just drop your knees to the right or cross your right leg over your left leg and drop your knees to the right. Oh, that crossing your legs is a bit more intense, so please do so slowly. If it's intense, but you still want some, you can just have your ankle over that. Shoulder blades pressing into the earth. Gaze over the left side. Eyes can come to close. A cleansing twist to wrap up our practice together. Ready, uncross those legs if they were, bring them back to center. And either just gently drop them to the left. You can cross your left leg over your right. Ooh, and nice and slowly send that over. Or just have your left ankle over that right knee, which is my preferred one. It's a nice stretch of that right glute without feeling too tense. And gaze over the right side, pressing shoulder blades into the earth. Find some internal stillness. And when you're ready, bring those knees back in. Lift those legs in the air. They don't have to be straight. Just give them a little, like under the sea situation. Just reverse the blood flow for a moment. And then carefully and gently, letting one foot down, the other foot. Nice and wide, like a starfish, letting those feet fall open. Beautiful. Breathe, connecting with your breath. Remember that inhale is that uplifting, invigorating breath, and it exhales the downward, melting relaxation breath. Maybe you don't want to even think about the breath at all. Merely just feel into the sensations of your body, or maybe just one particular sensation, like the warmth in your belly or tingling in your forehead. You just find a place where you can focus and hang out for a few moments, just relax. Being okay with sounds and distractions, knowing that you are so open that they pass right through you. Maintaining an attitude of just being cool, with being in the middle of everything. Not uptight, not needing everything to be different in this moment. I'm going to do a reading. This one may be a repeat. I just love this one so much. Breathe and time. If your thoughts want to wander, that's what they do, and that's expected and normal. Just let them wander, notice they wander, and bring them back to that place, that sensation or that breath. This is a Bruce Lee quote. Notice that the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or willow survives by bending with the wind. So let us not be the stiffest tree. We don't need to be the strongest and the toughest and the one that doesn't bend to hold it all together, but rather we bend to hold ourselves together. And in doing so, our glutes become stronger. We become more flexible. And things can pass over us and through us without breaking us. A few moments, relative silence that my home can offer. We're going to stay here as long as time permits. Otherwise, maybe bring some motion back into your body through tiny fingers and toes, and maybe palms and ankles, wrists. If you want to do some stretching, breathing, breathing, breathing. You have to reach those arms overhead, bring those ankles together and stretch down, stretch up. Exhale to roll onto your preferred side. Eyes still closed, knees tucked in slightly. Arm can be a pillow. Let's stop here. And exhale, lift yourself up using the strength of your arms that you've been building all morning or afternoon. Find yourself back into a comfortable position. Reaching those hands back to your neck and give yourself a little bit of a massage. Maybe your hands are cool, maybe they're warm. Let your chin drop, eyes closed, gentle massage. Cross your arms to the other side. Excellent. Ready, hands can come to heart and prayer position. I want to thank you all for your practice today and your openness to practicing differently and different things and challenging yourself in every dimension of yourself and finishing together. And that makes us stronger together. So I appreciate your practice. Inhale to bring your palms up to your forehead. And then exhale, a gentle bow forward. I offer a namaste. Those of you who like to close class with our lights acknowledging each other. And I offer you my sincerest gratitude, and I hope to see you soon. So be well. You can donate always to good donation causes, and I hope that you are all going to have a splendid weekend. Take care, everyone.